Hello, comrades! Welcome back to Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. My name, of course, is Old Potato. Disneylandovsk has very successfully been opened. We are now in receipt of many tourists, and this is going to be the episode where we hopefully start making some serious wonga, some serious dosh off these said tourists. Okay, at the moment you can still see that both our dollar balances and our ruble balances decreasing at varying rates. But I think that there is a good chance that that in this episode we're going to be able to arrest that fall and hopefully maybe turn a profit. Okay, what do we got going on here? There's a pipe pumping station. That doesn't bode well. That doesn't bode well. It's a good thing that I've actually taken the time to come across and fix this up. Hopefully it'll mean that the fire brigade are actually able to engage themselves this time. No fire trucks coming to deal with this fire. Okay, they're en route now. They're en route now. It's gonna take them a little while to get across there, but I think that it should be just fine. Okay, in other good news, I'm gonna assume that that's gonna be totally fine. Famous last words, etc. But it'll probably be fine. Right. So we are running regular passenger services, and that is passenger aircraft services actually, which is very exciting. Very exciting indeed. It does of course mean that we are now able to receive tourists via the sky, which is very exciting, as well as the large customs house at the border. Are we seeing any tourists queuing up over here? We are, actually. We are. Where's the bus? Where's the bus that is... Where's the bus? Vehicles in the route plan. This one, yeah. So we got 10 tourists, and we got 10 tourists. Where's this bus? It's coming back. It's coming back. Okay, yeah, so I see the immediate problem. The immediate problem is that we've got some... Oh, there we go, fire was extinguished, wonderful. The immediate problem is that we have a super duper slow bridge. Not to mention the fact that there's a lot of construction traffic that's actually running along this route. So the buses are never really able to get up to max speed, and even if they were, are buses able to overtake? I don't know if they are. I don't know if they are. It's not a particularly huge issue. It's just a slight inconvenience more than anything else. How are we doing over here? We got food, good. We've got no alcohol. No alcohol, and we've got no meat. But we should see a boat arriving at some point very soon, right? Yes, we will indeed, and that's got a whole bunch of alcohol, a whole bunch of food, and a whole bunch of meat on board. So that is all fine. I am surprised, by the way. Look at that. That's increasing. That's increasing. I've done barely anything. I've done barely anything. And that's not even falling that quickly. Holy cow, how is it that we're making this much money? That's actually kind of insane. Wow, accommodated tourists, guests without service, 7. Okay, we're managing to accommodate pretty much everyone. Okay, I mean, that's great. That's really good. Very happy with that. This is a... I was going to say a disaster. It's not necessarily a disaster, but we should do something like that just to make it a little bit easier to access the cinema. That sounds like a good idea. Do we want to open up another hotel? Honestly, probably, maybe we want to open up another hotel. But I think that at the moment our focus is probably just to try and drive more workers over to Disneylandovsk, because look at how many tourists aren't getting service. That's 23 that are not getting service, 6 that are not getting service over here. And that is highly problematic. Highly problematic indeed. I mean, what more can we do? What more can we really do to move people across to Disneylandovsk? Well, there is a couple of things that we could do. First of all, we could, and we probably should get the rail system set up that I was initially very keen to get set up, but then just sort of let languish a little bit. It's not necessarily a problem that this has happened, but we're gonna need to address it. This is gonna be a bridge over here. Cannot end above water. It's a truly horrific bridge. Truly a horrific bridge. But that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. That is completely fine. Let's do something like that. We'll take this back, even though we've already built it. Yeah, I know. And we'll see if we can take this back too, because this hasn't been built yet. This bit of railroad hasn't been built. And is this steel? I'm pretty sure this is concrete, this railway. Not entirely convinced that I can remember what type of railway. Okay, no, it's definitely wood. It's definitely wood, because we can still upgrade it to concrete. I think that's fine. We'll roll with that. We'll get the rail mechanism on the job ASAP. Thank you very much. We'll get that connected up. That shouldn't present a problem to boats passing through, I don't believe. Nope, looks like the route is pretty fantastic. Okay, well that's great. Seems that we've completely stopped the fall of rubles. Fall of dollars still needs a little bit more work. But you know what we can do? You know what we can do, and you know what we should do? We should actually see if we can try and complement this existing runway with another runway. That's right. There is absolutely no reason to not get additional runways. Now, we've got this very, very large runway here already. However, it's actually I think what 250 meters for these planes to take off. That's all that they really need. Yeah, 250 meters is the takeoff distance there. Now that right there means that we can probably just get away with a really, really short runway. A really, really, really short runway here. Yeah, literally something like that. Literally about as short as it can possibly be. And then what we'll do is we will demolish that. That's still fine. There's still a corner there. Wonderful. And then we will have... No, we're not allowed to do that. That's fine. And we'll do something like that. And then we'll do something like that. Now, I mean, that just like so would just cost, you know, 41,000 rubles. That's not a big deal at all. Kind of just feel like maybe we should just go for that. I feel like if we just go for that, and that's going to mean that we can do a whole bunch of additional flights each and every day, which is very, very exciting. Now, of course, my thought process is, if we're able to introduce a second shorter runway that is going to be able to be used much more regularly by smaller aircraft, then that's going to allow us to step up and get a larger aircraft, a lot larger aircraft actually. So what have we got here? We've got the Ilyushin 18, the Antonov 12, or the Tupolev 104. Now, I'm looking for passenger numbers, to be honest. There's an upside to going for the Tupolev, and that's the speed here, 780 kilometers an hour, as opposed to 625 on this thing. However, this thing has got 92 capacity, whereas this thing's only got, what is it, 75. So you know what? I think we're going to make the crazy decision to purchase 3 absolutely massive Tupolev, no, Ilyushin 18 aircraft. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That is nastily cool. I like it. 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 I like it a lot. Okay, let's queue this up. And what we're actually gonna do is we are gonna send these aircraft to Western countries. That's right. Gonna send them all to Western countries because I'm looking for a few extra dollars at this moment in time. Yeah, this is kind of what I worried about happening. We've got this weird little situation where almost all of the planes that we have are full and are active, and all of them are funneled through this one single taxiway over here, which is less than ideal. Very, very, very much so less than ideal. Yeah. And I don't think that there's any way that I can contain this aircraft to flying out of a specific runway. Yeah, so, I mean, we pretty much just have to wait until these aircraft have moved off the pads, the small aircraft, that is. Because presumably we're only going to be able to use this pad over here and this pad over here for the larger aircraft. I'm assuming that that's the case anyway. It's not necessarily a big deal, but it would be really, really good to solve this problem quickly. Be careful. Be careful here. Gotta be careful for trucks that are moving through the world. That is a worry. Anyway, yeah. We need to deal with more tourists. It's frankly just that simple. We just need to deal with more tourists. We've got the bridge. We've got the bridge in progress, but that is I guess a long-term solution. How do we solve the problem in the short term of getting more people to work in Disneylandovsk? There's a couple of different options that we have. First and foremost, we could get more buses. It looks like there are a very, very large number of people that are waiting to be moved around, and it looks like we're not managing to shift them all entirely. Yeah, we still have 20 people without a job, a couple of people can't participate in sport, lots of people without a job. Okay, in the first instance, I think that this is what we do. We buy a couple of additional buses. Turistovsky bus platform, Disneylandovsk bus platform. Buy a couple of additional buses, and this time we're actually going to buy larger buses that can transport just a few more people. I know that I've been using the Lux buses because, I mean, it's important. It's important that our people at least feel like they're living in luxury. Very, very important indeed, comrade. Right, so we're gonna get slightly larger buses. It's gonna be a little bit worse, but at the end of the day, it's not terrible. We still are not able to get these planes out of here. Okay, now go. Nice. Okay, good. There could be a little bit of a traffic jam. I don't know if it's technically called a traffic jam when there are planes involved. I guess planes technically count as traffic, but I'm not really sure. A plane jam? I don't know about that. Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to get that third one set off. But the good news is that we're able to get two into the sky. That's pretty darn good. Okay, now whilst we're still here, I actually think this is something that I didn't realize until recently could actually be done. But you can have intersecting runways, which is very, very cool indeed. So we've got this one big runway at the moment, which is the only appropriate runway for our brand new aircraft here. However, we can go bigger. We can go bigger still, and we can get more runways, which is very, very exciting. Very, very, very highly exciting. I feel like it's almost probably a better idea to get a different terminal for smaller aircraft. That might be worth investigating. Right, we're gonna have to wait. I mean, yeah, the problem with big aircraft is that they're gonna use, I suspect, a rather large amount of fuel. But at the same time, they're going to bring in a whole bunch of Western tourists, right? That's the important thing. That is the important thing. Look at this. Taxiway runway is engaged. Is it engaged by a bus? Is that the problem? I suspect that it might be the bus that is causing the issue. Or perhaps it's this aircraft here? It's that aircraft right there. Okay, new plan. We should try and open this up. There we go. Okay. Let's get that built. Good stuff. We're seeing a lot of activity now. We're seeing both of these aircraft move out. What? How did you get there? And do the smaller ones want to fly on this runway? Apparently not. They only want to take off from the large one. Is there any way that I can set the runways to only... There's no way that I can set the runways to only operate in arrival or departure mode. That would be good if I could, but unfortunately, doesn't seem that I can. Either way, we're going to hopefully be bringing in a huge number of tourists. A truly gigantic number of tourists, and that's what I'm really after here, because I think that is what we need. That is what we need to see happening. Oh, look at that. The View Cafe / Bar has been completed. That's excellent. How are our guests being treated? Not bad, actually. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Looks like we've got a bunch of extra alcohol here. That's very nice. No meat left in storage, though, which is a little bit disappointing. But that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, we need to find some way, perhaps with the construction of a second terminal, Perhaps with the construction of more runways, we need to find some way to get these small aircraft off the big runway. And I don't know how we're going to do that. I have no idea how we're going to do that, actually. There is... I guess we could use the same terminal if we connect, like, half of the pads up to a certain runway, and then the other half of the pads are connected to another runway. That might be an option. I don't really necessarily like it, but... yeah, there's definitely options there. There's definitely options. I also don't really love this situation here, where we are strongly limited. Are we taking tourists back to the border? I guess that's probably what we're doing. Yeah, we're strongly limited by the number of buses that can operate out of this small bus platform, which I guess I should have anticipated. The large bus platform can accommodate multiple buses moving around it in the same time. At the same time, apparently the small bus platform cannot, which is all the more reason, really, to just get the railroad done as quickly as we possibly can, so that we can finally get a train delivery system up and running. How's the medical university looking? Medical university is actually looking pretty darn good. Unfortunately, I've completely forgotten the number of educated people that we have in the town. It can't have been that high, but I suspect that it's actually... I suspect that it's increased. I suspect that it's increased a little bit. Let's have a little look at this year. Yeah, university-educated numbers have actually increased dramatically. Well, not dramatically, but they've been increasing steadily. There have been a couple of times where we've seen large spikes. That's probably because I imported a couple of people. People with no education. People with no education are... it's also increasing steadily. Okay, which is not exactly ideal, but there we go. We've got nobody that's still living with their parents, which is very, very good, because we do actually have, like, a ridiculously large number of houses that are just, like, lying empty at the moment. So there's, you know, there's still an opportunity for people to move around, which is kind of great. This is just a disaster, though. This is just a disaster. Let's get this all built as quickly as we possibly can, though. That would be really, really good. And we would expect our big aircraft back at some point soon, so we've got that to look forward to. How's Kolovsky? Kolovsky is not looking too bad. We still have plenty of adults living with parents. I would wager that we are probably approaching a point where people with no education will start climbing a little bit. A little bit worried about that, but that's okay. Also, we've got relatively low levels of alcohol addiction here. That may be my fault for not placing down enough pubs. But, I mean, everything's looking fine. Honestly, I thought this entire area would just completely disintegrate. But in actuality, it has worked surprisingly well and has been very, very resilient. Yeah. Kolovsky lives on. That's great news. Krudenovsky, now, Krudenovsky is going to be the real kicker, I would say. The real kicker. And is probably going to present us with the most problems. I wonder, is it possible for us to perhaps get down a university over here? If we could get a technical university down, we could start doing some research. Although the other alternative is to just, you know, double down and put the university in Turistovsky. Alternatively, here's an idea for you. Here's an idea, and I think this is the one that we're going to go with. Potatograd does not have a large higher education institution. It does have a large school, but that's probably overkill, to be honest with you. Probably overkill. I think that we could get a technical university down here, actually. I don't think it would do much. I would like to preface that. I don't think that it's going to do much. But we could at least zone it, right? Technical university. Cool. So I kind of want to stick it down somewhere like here, but I suspect that the placement is perhaps going to be difficult. Okay, or apparently not. Apparently not, comrade. This is excellent news. Okay. How much would that cost if I decided to auto-build it? 173,000 rubles. Yikes on that front. Big yikes on that front. Can I get this connected? Pretty certain that I can. It's just a matter of finding the right angle. Oh, I've disconnected 2 houses accidentally. That is my bad. That's on me, that one. Let's move everyone out of here, and we'll just demolish this house instead. Cool. And the reason that we do that is that it's going to allow us to connect up a road. He says, hopefully. There we go. Delete that house over there, and then delete this over here. Cool. All right. And then after we've done this, after we've distracted ourselves a little bit, we will hopefully head back to Disneylandovsk, and we'll see if we have actually managed to find some more tourists, some more Western tourists to give me money. Right, this house needs to get demolished because there is no path. There is no path. Any space anywhere here? I really don't want to ship any more people out to Kolovsky than I need to. I will, though. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me, video game. We just need... Yeah, there we go. Space for one more. Demolish that house. And then there's this over here. Which I kind of do actually want to build manually. I kind of want to do that. I do actually want to build it manually. That would be really, really good. Anyway, how are we doing over here? I don't know why we seem to just be going on like this this whistle-stop tour of the entire Republic at this moment in time, but apparently that's exactly what we're doing. How many fields did we manage to sow at the end of the day? We managed to do them all? Really? Really? I am actually kind of astounded. Okay, apparently we did absolutely every field. We managed to sow absolutely every field. I wonder if perhaps the crops are going to die on the field if they don't get harvested fast enough. That might be something to consider. We're probably going to want to, at some point, zone another farm that is going to be able to take the... strain of additional fields that we're going to place down here. That's not necessarily a problem for now. It looks like we're still getting more than enough grain coming in through imports at the border. I wonder how much we're actually spending on grain. Let me see. This year, import of resources, Soviet bloc, crops, 27,000. We've spent 27,000 this year. I mean, let's go all time. 49,000. That's not even... That doesn't even register. That's not even that impressive. So you know what? I think that we're just going to be completely fine to import grain for the foreseeable future. And that grain that we import is going to be supplemented by our locally produced grain. So, you know, staying true to reality on that front. So that's very, very exciting. Passengers do not need to be picked up from here. Continue to move workers out... to this area. Yeah, this area is working. This area is working real well. I'm really happy with how this is working. And when we start to grow potato breads, there is going to be the opportunity to get more and more workers out here, which I'm very, very happy about. Right now, have we managed? Disneylandovsk, have we got tourists? 8 tourists. 8 whole tourists. Is that it? Is that seriously it? I bought a massive monster of a plane for 8 brand new stinking tourists? Are you kidding me? Are you for real? I mean, I'm not happy about that. That's not good. That's not good. Let's have a little look at the tourism stats, shall we? Let's have a little look at the tourism stats. Okay, Soviet tourists intended to enter the Republic, 733. Actually entered, 111. 118. 11 entered the tour prematurely. 89 returned. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 0 tourists died. Always a great number to see. Western tourists. Now, why is the trip score so low? Why the heck is the trip score so low? I mean, if we lower the price level, is that going to make a difference? I'm not really interested in lowering my price level, to be honest. I'm not really interested in doing that at all. But we've got all the trimmings. We've got all the trimmings that, that the tourists would expect. We have all of the expected niceties. I wonder if part of it is just the hotel. I wonder if part of it is just the hotel and the lack of access to a decent hotel. Alternatively, I think that there is a nicer hotel than we currently have, isn't there? There's the Mountain Hotel. No, actually, the City Hotel is the nicest. The City Hotel is the nicest. We definitely have all of these things here. I mean, we could try and get a mountain hotel somewhere, but I mean, it hardly seems worth it at this moment in time, to be honest. 0 tourists, 0 tourists. Yeah, so turnaround of the aircraft is pretty bad, actually. Is pretty bad. I think that maybe we should just trash these smaller aircraft if we're gonna be going with this, with this terminal setup. Which I think that I'm kind of just gonna stick with this for now, and then we just need to try and tweak a few things. See, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the cars on the runway? Is that what the problem is? I think that very well might be what the issue is here. There's definitely an issue with this runway / taxiway not being opened. Yeah, okay, alright. I'm gonna assume that it's my construction that is causing the delay to the aircraft there. But that's fine. That's completely fine. The boat did arrive, and the boat has set off, which means that we now have a warehouse with some food in, some alcohol in, and some meat storage in, which is great. We're going to limit this amount, actually, and we are going to properly allocate all of the space to both alcohol and food. And in fact, to be honest with you, we don't need to even allocate it all towards alcohol. I'd rather have a greater imbalance and allocate much more towards food, as that is the resource that I am most worried is going to be causing problems. Runway or taxiway is engaged by another aircraft. I mean, is it though? Is it really? Is it really? Yeah, there's definitely some work that needs to be done on this airport, that's for sure. That is absolutely categorically for sure. I mean, the good news is that we are making money. It's just not as much as I think that we should be, you know? It's just not as much as we should be. Last month the average trip score was 2.4. Only 1 tourist died. Only 1 tourist has died this year, and it's May already, so that's great. Tourists intended to enter the Republic. I mean, how can we increase that number further? How can we increase that number further? I mean, could we perhaps... We got so many tourists here. We got so many tourists here. We have so many tourists. How many tourists are on the bus currently? There's 40 tourists. That's a number. That's a real number. That is a real freaking number. Is it possible for us to perhaps get a bigger bus station in the center of town then? I know we've already got this small one, but like, it's clearly not helping. It's clearly not, there's not enough capacity here. Bus has got nobody on it. We've got 40 tourists. They're about to get out here. 30. Okay, hold up. I think that we've got a serious capacity problem. Yeah. Okay, I think that we've reached our maximum capacity. So we've got all 100 tourists that we can accommodate. Let's bump up the numbers here. Let's bump up the numbers here as well. I completely forgot that we had actually toned down the number of staff that we were going to take. Let's keep this one at low levels. Then we'll accommodate a lot more tourists here. Hold up. That one. Go. Turn back and drop off some more tourists, please. There we go. Okay. That's going to make a much bigger impact. So that was the problem all along. The problem is that I just didn't I just didn't have enough tourist capacity, which is kind of crazy. This is gonna be a difficult problem to fix, actually. So presumably this means that the people that arrived on this bus, right? The people that arrived on this bus were picked up at the small customs house on the western border. They were driven across a super slow bridge. They were taken to the bus stop. They were told there's not enough space at the hotels, and then therefore had to go all the way back to the border and just leave. So I guess that means that's probably why we're seeing so many low score ratings or low trip ratings, because yeah, fair enough. I guess it's a pretty bad trip if you don't even get to you know, stay in a hotel or whatever. So yeah, we should probably try and fix that. Don't know what's happening here. This looks borked. Don't know what's happening there. Don't know what's happening there at all. But there is something seriously afoot with this airport. We're gonna need to work on it. I feel like we should start construction of a second terminal. I feel like that might not be the craziest idea in the world. In fact, I think that's exactly what we're gonna start to do. Okay. Not a cargo terminal, although a cargo terminal would be very, very interesting indeed. How close can I get it? I really feel like I should probably trash these pylons here. You know, I know it's gonna, you know, cause a short-term disaster or short-term irritant. Let's do that there. Nice. And then we're gonna have to see if we can try and thread the needle. Thread the needle between these two buildings here. Easily done. But before we do that, we're gonna have to thread another needle over here, which I thought would be kind of easier, but apparently just isn't. There we go. And then we're gonna build a road connection over here so that we can actually connect up the cargo delivery routes. And probably the most important method of traversal to the airport is going to be the pathway. So that's what we're going to do. Can I get a path down here? Oh, I totally can. Now that might just be within walking range. That might just be within walking range of the bus stop. And in fact, the hotels. It totally is. Okay, that's 380 meters, so it's cutting it a little bit close. But I'll chance that. I'll absolutely chance that. So, what's the point of getting a second terminal? It means that we can continue to keep our small planes and also use our big planes at the same time. Maybe this can be the big plane terminal, and we can actually get some more tourists coming in, which is kind of the whole idea. Okay. My goodness gracious me. Okay. Tourist numbers are up in a major way. This is very, very good. Now, next stage is bringing these two backup hotels online. Now, I didn't really anticipate these hotels would actually be needed for kind of a long time. Kind of didn't really see that one coming, to be honest with you. But I'm happy to do it. Am I happy with that? I don't hate that necessarily. Get that built. Wonderful. I mean, at the end of the day, I should just go all out and get a larger bus platform, but I'm not going to. Right, let's turn on hotel number 3. We'll turn on hotel number 3, so that's going to be able to accommodate a whole bunch of additional tourists. It's going to make a big old difference. Okay. And then the proof will be in the pudding. Is this going to affect the tourism rating? We're going to have to see. Last month, the score was 1.6, 2.4. This year, score is 0.4. But again, I suspect that that's because of the number of people that are not getting to stay. Tourists returned to 02. That's fine. 118 entered the trip prematurely. 103 ended the trip prematurely. Again, I suspect that that premature ending is what's leading to so many low scores. And that can be entirely rectified if we just have more hotels, we have more capacity, and that's indeed what we plan to do. Okay, so that's all going on at that end, which is very, very exciting indeed. I unironically think that Disneylandovsk could probably do with being about twice the size that it actually is, which is kind of crazy to even suggest, but I legitimately think that we're probably going to have to get a whole bunch of additional hotels. Was not anticipating this, not in a month of Sundays, in fact, not at all. But I think that we're going to have to get some additional buildings without power supply. Oh, no. I completely forgot to do that. Yeah, so we should probably maybe think about getting 8 additional hotels down here, all surrounded by a bus stop. Am I convinced that that's going to be a good idea at a time like this? Not necessarily. Could be a great idea, could be a terrible idea. This is taking such a long time because, of course, I haven't bumped up the number of workers that we can allow here. You know what? For 200 rubles, for 1,400 rubles, let's just freaking go. Okay, I think that this is going to really accelerate the amount of aircraft that we're going to be able to process over here. The reason that I think it's going to do that is just because we have a lot more taxiway that aircraft can move around on. Yeah, so look at this. This is just working. This is working so much better. This is working so much better. What's the takeoff distance for this? 650 meters for this plane. So we should be able to manage. Yeah, look at this. Look at this. We got a lot of activity. We got a lot of activity, and that's what we like to see. Very, very happy with that. It's June now. June brings some brand new... Two tourists died? Really? 3 ended their trip prematurely. 9 ended the trip prematurely. 10 ended the trip prematurely. Guests without service. Yeah, so now we're really like pushing up against the limits of what we can actually do with a workforce this size. Because we're spreading the same number of people. We're spreading the same number of people who come from Turistovsky, right? You know, we're spreading the same number of people who get picked up at this bus stop. We're spreading them just as thinly. Or, in fact, we're actually spreading them even thinner. Sport issues. 20 workers without a job. Everyone should have a job here. Absolutely everyone should have a job. There should be no issues with anything. There should be no issues with anything. Are we laying... We're laying a bridge? I wonder if we just sort of go all out and see if we can try and get the bridge built. I wonder if that might be the priority at this moment in time. Because I think that everything is running smoothly. Everything is seemingly running very, very smoothly. One slight issue is that this is hooked up to the distribution office, but it's not being unloaded. Uh-huh. Why is that? Why is that not working? Why is this not working? Have I misconfigured this somehow? What's it called? Disneylandovsk Cargo Harbor? Get rid of that. Untick that. Unload 80%. Yep. Not sure why that doesn't want to work. Not sure at all why that's not working. That is very, very strange. Is there something that I'm missing here? I really have no idea. Do you pick up from... You pick up from the customs house. Let's ditch the customs house from that connection. Add the connection there. Good. Say load, fuel, storage percent 0. Excellent. And then I guess we'll just add... We'll add this on as well. Unload... 80%. Will that get you to work? Fuel? No. There is a road connection. I'm not going crazy. It's assigned to 2 distribution offices. Why is that causing a problem then? Are the tourists fighting back? Have they decided to... Have they decided to do some nefarious activities against the cargo harbor that have forced it not to work? Definitely looks to be working. I mean, look, if we have to buy in fuel, buying in fuel is not the worst thing that we could possibly do here. I mean, we're very, very close to the border there, so, I mean, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. But it's just a little bit less than ideal. A little bit less than ideal. Wow, we are maxed out. We are maxed out. What the heck is happening? Are we making money? I think that we're making money. We're definitely making money. We are 100% making money here, folks. We are making money. We've lost $20,000, but we've actually made 20,000 rubles. So it's just about trying to get more... It's trying to get more Western people in, I think. Like, that is crucial. That is very, very crucial. How many did we end up taking in? We've actually had more Western tourists than we've had Soviet tourists, which is a little bit funky. 9 tourists have died, though. Yeah, that's somewhat less than ideal, I would perhaps suggest. Got 12 tourists. Got 12 tourists. We got lots of tourists coming in. We got lots of tourists coming in. We got lots of tourists looking to leave. Tourists are allowed to leave, aren't they? Yes, tourists are allowed to leave. That's fine. That's fine. I think it's literally just a hotel issue, to be honest with you. I 100% think that we're just having massive hotel issues, which kind of makes the construction of a second platform all the more pointless. But I guess it's fine. All right, I think that we need to invest. I think that we need to invest heavily in Turistovsky. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 major things. First of all, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to complete this railway over here, right? This is gonna be a non-electric railway for now. It very well may get upgraded at some point in the future. That's 140,000 rubles that I'm spending on this bridge. I'm well aware that I'm spending a ridiculous amount of money on making sure that we have this infrastructure connection up and running. The reason that I'm doing this is because I think that it is important that we have many, many, many more workers than we currently have access to at this moment in time. That is very, very important. Now, I know that we've technically run out of money, but running out of money, at least in the orbital potato world, is a short-term endeavor. We will be able to recoup. We will be able to recoup our losses. I say recoup our losses. Recoup our losses. No, we won't be able to recoup our losses, but we will be able to take out a loan. That's right, we're gonna take out a loan. So here, how many rubles? How many millions of rubles? 2 million rubles for 4 years? For 5 years? I mean, that sounds reasonable. Let's do that. I mean, look, we're able to make 20,000 rubles a month. At least 20,000 rubles a month. We are... Okay, we're not making money anymore, but we were making money. We were making a lot of money there for a sec. Okay, so let's get this in place. Let's get this in place. Let's get one of these. I probably should have thought about this beforehand, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Train diesel loading / unloading station. Yeah. Let's actually do it at the other side of the river here. Yeah, we'll do it over here. Excellent. Right, diesel loading / unloading station. And that goes in there. Build concretes. Good stuff. Good stuff. Build, 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 build. Now, this is only half of the... Have I done that wrong? I have done that wrong. I have done that hopelessly incorrectly. Try again, potato. We need to connect up to the right instead. There we go. Much better. The right or the left. I guess it's all relative, right? Left. No. What was I saying? Yes, we need to get a train depot as well. We're just gonna stick with a normal sized train depot at this moment in time. That seems absolutely acceptable to me. Let's throw this down here. throw too sharp of a turn. Worry not. Worry not. Okay. So that gives us a route in and a route out as well. We do need to... In fact, we won't need to change signals if we're literally just going to have one train. And one train, for now, is going to be the modus operandi. That's right. It's going to be what we decide to do. The reason that we're only going to have one train is because hopefully it's going to be a big old train. A big old train. That's the dream anyway. I'm thinking that we're going to do one of these motor wagons chained together. The MV820 times perhaps 3, maybe even 4. Yeah. I think that's the way for us. Okay, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big, but I think it'll absolutely be worth it. Right. So this is 380 workers. Now, these 380 workers will be somewhat limited in where they can actually access. Let's allow everyone to be transported along here. Sure. Let's freaking go. We'll start that off, and then we'll talk about what we want to do to Turistovsky in just a second. But what I mean by the fact that they're limited where they can go, these workers are mostly only going to be able to work at, like, yeah, the stuff in the, I guess, this half of town, which isn't necessarily a problem. It's, in fact, absolutely okay. We want these people to work at the... We want them to work at the hotels. We want to guarantee... We want to guarantee the service at the hotels. It's very, very important that that's what we do. Very, very, very important indeed. There is maybe mileage, as I've already said, to try and extend this... this Disneylandovsk area downtown. Out this way, I guess. Is this a downtown? I don't know if this is a downtown area. The town area. Anyway, you know, we could have a whole bunch of hotels sort of just plonked down over here. And I kind of like the idea of doing something like this. It's a little bit funky, but I think that I'm going to do it right now, so that at least you can see what my sort of main goal is here. So we basically just have a big bus platform in the middle. That's a big bus platform right there. Kind of in the name, potato, isn't it? But we can actually start construction of this manually whilst we are waiting for all of this to happen. So we'll start building the road manually. We'll queue up the bus platform to be built manually. And in fact, you know what? The footpaths can also be built manually. So the point of this area is to serve as, I guess, like a hotel hub that we can eventually use to transport people back into the center of town and to all of the good stuff. Also, we can start like transporting foreign tourists right into this bus stop right here. So, for example, people coming from this customs house, instead of transporting them to this bus stop, we can instead transport them to the hotel hub. One of the reasons why this area isn't very considered or thought through, we can auto build these hotels, but we're not going to be able to build them with construction vehicles, I don't think. Or we're not going to be able to build them ourselves. Actually, that might be a lie. Might be able to build them ourselves if we get the footpaths done. Either way, it's not really a priority. I think that, you know, getting this 4th hotel online, that's a priority, and we're actually going to do that right now. Because we're about to undergo some small renovations in Turistovsky. Have we actually got any workers on this train platform here? On this train here? No, we don't. And I wouldn't actually anticipate any workers to be on that platform there, because we didn't enable workers at this train platform here. We weren't accepting workers over here. Now, here's the next stage. And this is probably what's going to facilitate a little bit of an expansion to Turistovsky, because I didn't anticipate expanding the town outwards in this direction. I didn't really build the infrastructure that we need to expand it out in this direction, so the only thing that's really around here is a hospital, which is kind of irrelevant, really, but at the end of the day, that's fine. We'll just have to make do. This is just a disaster of a pylon system. And we're going to take this, I mean, literally right back to here, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to maybe see if, for now, if we can slot just one modded super tall house in. Not the People's Palace Flats. This one. That's right. That's what we're after. So we'll slot this in here. We'll build this with some of our newfound wealth. I say newfound wealth. We didn't find it. We borrowed it. So we'll build that in there, right? Nice and easy. Build that. Build that. I think we're actually accidentally going to end up importing a whole bunch of people. That's not necessarily a problem. That is a little bit of a downside, but we didn't really need them. But again, you know, the more the merrier, I suppose. Anyway, the needs of these people will be very, very helpful in determining what we need to build in this area, because I suspect it's going to be a lot. The point is that we're gonna need to move a whole bunch of people on this train platform, and we're now able to do that because we've got a massive, massive long train. I just want to make sure that we don't have people waiting longer than an hour. I suspect that we will have people waiting longer than an hour, and that is a colossal problem for me. Yeah, so we're almost certainly going to need to introduce a secondary service over here at some point. The way that we're going to introduce that secondary service will probably just be with a lay-by somewhere. Yeah, we can worry about that. Oh my goodness, we got so many people waiting here. We have so many people waiting here. Because what I was actually anticipating doing, and what I'm going to do right now, is build another 21-story flat. Let's not get citizens this time, because I didn't really anticipate doing that on the first occasion, but hey-ho. I kind of just anticipated buying the flat, right? I anticipated buying the flat. I anticipated building the flat, because again, ridiculously, ridiculously cheap and very, very good to do quickly. Look at this. Okay. This is good. This is good. Let's strike whilst the iron is hot, and let's build a little lay-by over here. Okay. Okay, nice. What do I need? Signal-wise. Very, very simple signal job. There. 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 And there. Cool. Alright. Now, we'll buy another train real quick. And I'm doing this literally because we have so many people at the platform right here. Good stuff. Literally just allow everyone. So I guess that means that we're going to allow tourists to visit Turistovsky, which I guess is kind of surprising. Anyway, what I was saying about the prefab flats is that we want to get the prefab flats built. Very, very important we build them. And then I wanted to actually move a couple of the people around. What? Oh, yes. Building the track is supremely important, Potato. That's an incredible oversight. Even by my standards, that is a big one. That is a big one. Let's actually turn around and go back, and we'll just pick up the extra people. Fine. Ignore what I just said. Doesn't particularly matter. Anyway, with the brand new prefab flat, we're gonna see if we can try and move like a couple of the people that I know are living in flats around this area, or not even in flats necessarily. Basically, we want an excuse to properly demolish these houses and build more useful buildings for the people that are now going to be living over here. There we go. Demolish. Demolish. This is good. Okay, I'm actually a little bit surprised that there were definitely people living in there. Whoops. Anyway, the point that I was trying to make is that we definitely want to free up a little bit of space because, yeah, 60 children can't go to school because there is no school. Kinda saw that one coming. Same with the kindergarten. Also power. We now have no power over here. I need to remember to fix that, actually. I need to remember to fix that. Right, kindergarten and the school are going to be placed down right over here. We're going to get some nice big modded facilities this time. There we go. I think that that's appropriate. Yeah. Let's do that, and we'll do that too. Nice. Wonderful, and right in there like so. We get the connection up and running. We get that up and running. costs us a heck of a lot of money to build this, but it's actually 100% worth it. How am I spending this much money on this episode? I don't believe it. I don't know why. It's just... There's too much money. There's too much money being spent. It's not possible. We must control the crazy amounts of money. Okay. Anyway, we've got this Turistovsky 21-story prefab flat that has got 4 people living in it, which is quite embarrassing, but it's fine. It's okay. It's okay, at least for now, anyway. Yeah, so this is really, really good. This is sort of performed exactly how we wanted it to perform. We should now have pretty much a full service of people. We should have pretty much staff absolutely everywhere. But it actually looks like some trains are returning without workers, or still with workers on board, which means that we're not effectively utilizing our workers, which is a bit of a problem. However, looking at the finances, look at the finances! Oh my goodness gracious me. Okay, it's the 1st of July here. It's the 1st of July, which is an interesting point to be at. 1st of July, 1962. And we are actually at the point where it looks like we are making money. Not even a little bit of money. We're making a fairly considerable amount of money as well. That's pretty brilliant. Now, bear in mind, we are making money. We are making money even though we are importing a huge amount of Soviet and Western resources, actually. And yet the tourists are just spending more than I ever anticipated they could spend. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, that's incredible. Tourists returned 90, that's great. 15 still ended their trip prematurely. Not super happy with that. The average score looks to be hanging at around 2. We're gonna need to improve that, you know, no doubt about it. However, the fact of the matter is, even with all of the construction imports, even with all of the food imports, even with all of the alcohol imports, the steel imports, etc., 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 maybe even a little bit of fuel importing somewhere along the lines, I don't know. We're making money, and it's not even a little bit of money. That's 12 grand over 5 days. 5 days. 5 days. I don't know. That's difficult to replicate, actually. That's surprisingly great. Surprisingly great. How many tourists are we bringing in via aircraft here? We've got 12 tourists on this small one. What about the big one? 7 tourists, 7 tourists. How on earth has it gotten to the point where we're bringing more tourists in on small little biplanes than big planes? Oh, look at that. 47 tourists. That's pretty big. I'm almost certain that this is a hotel capacity issue. Like, I am convinced that this is a hotel capacity issue. Like, it's gotta be. It's 100% gotta be. It's absolutely got to be. I mean, the tourists should be having a better time than they actually are. I mean, they should be. They should be. They definitely should be. But they're not. They're not having a great time at all. They are not having a great time at all, which is irritating, surprising, because we've got all of the flippin' workers. We've got all of the flippin' workers working in all of these places. We got them working in the zoo. We got them working in the Pyramid Museum. We got them working in the Sight Tower. And we have hardly any tourists that are actually visiting. Which is, you know, a little bit less than ideal. A little bit less than ideal. The small clinic is quite busy, actually. Quite busy. Quite busy. And we don't actually have any doctors working over here. That really shouldn't be the case. That really... Okay, we get a lot of people that are waiting for treatment here. It's now become abundantly clear to me why people die when they're on holiday in my nation. Yeah, it's all become frightfully clear. Yeah, I don't think the I don't think we're doing a very good job of treating people. I do not think that we're doing a very good job of treating people here. I wonder though, like what is the workaround to this? Is the train platform within walking distance of the... It's not within walking distance. It's not within walking distance of the train station. The clinic isn't within walking distance of the train station. It's close, though. Like, it's very, very close. I wonder if we could perhaps fix that up. If we were able to. If we were able to, that might go some of the way. It might go some of the way to fixing our problems. That doesn't make much of a difference. Let's see if we can try and upgrade the roads here. There we go. Upgrade the roads, and also something that I should have done a little while ago is connect up that over there. Cool. All right. That will actually increase access to a lot of town, I suspect. Okay, we got one doctor. We have literally got one doctor here. Wow. 2 doctors. Okay, more and more and more doctors, please. Tourists still need treatment, even though they're tourists, we still need to treat them. Are we still in positive territory? Oh my goodness. Even with auto-building roads, auto-building a couple of pads there, and auto-building all of this stuff, and the freaking terminal, we're still making money. We're still making money. How is that happening? How is that happening? And we're paying off our loans. What the heck is happening here? What the actual heck? How are we making money? How are we making How are we doing it? I don't know. Tourists, I'm telling you. Tourists are the gosh darn best thing to happen to this game. If it allows me to make more money, then I'm very, very confident in saying that. That's absolutely the case. Holy cow, that's incredible. Okay, before we finish up here, we're probably just going to smash down a gymnasium. Sports playground. Yep, that's the one. Probably just going to smash down a gymnasium. We'll stick it down over here. There we go. We'll get that auto-built as well, just so that we can ensure that everyone gets access to sport, which is apparently what the most important thing is at this moment in time. Are people still waiting on the platform for a little bit too long? Yes, they are. We could probably do with a 3rd train service, but, you know, it's fine. It's fine for now, right? It's fine. It just means that we're able to operate more hotels at closer to max capacity, because something that I really didn't anticipate is just having such a large number of tourists. I wonder, maybe we increase the price level. Maybe we increase the price level of the hotels, right? Supply and demand. I know that supply and demand works differently in Soviet countries, but let's increase the price level. Let's max it out, because we still have like an absolute abundance of people who want to visit here. I know that people are going to be upset. I know people are going to be upset at how much I'm charging. But at the end of the day, do I really care? Not really sure that I do. Not really sure that I do at all. Also, this warehouse has kind of happened a little bit funkily. Yeah, we should limit storage on these. Limit that to... Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Limit amount, 50-50. Limit amount, 50-50. Fine. Just leave it. Leave it like that. Leave it like that. Okay. It's gonna mean that the tour rating goes down, I think, but it also means that our money goes up. And that is kind of important. We still haven't cracked the dollar nut yet. We've cracked the Soviet tourist nut. There's a lot of Soviet tourists that are very, very interested in coming to town. Literally. And metaphorically, of course. Western tourists, on the other hand, not so much. Not so much at all. Not so much at all. We also might see a massive decrease in spending. Tourists enter the Republic. Tourists... Yeah, I mean, look, when the new month rolls around and we see the intended numbers, that'll probably help us as a larger guide. It looks like we got plenty of doctors coming through. Just increasing the walk range of the train platform has made a big old difference. As it seems, we're now able to get a few more educated people over to the small clinic, so that's really, really nice. We're starting work on this hotel, which is also really, really great. That's gonna make itself a massive difference. Now, how am I gonna get people transported by train over to this side of Disneyland Ovsk? I have no idea. I have no idea. If you've got any creative suggestions, you know, please do let me know. I just cannot believe that we're actually managing to build stuff as fast as we actually are. Holy cow, where are all my dollars going? My dollars are just draining out of the bank account. What the heck is happening? Is it construction materials? It's a little bit. A little bit. It's also food. Where are we importing food? Must be here, right? I think we're importing... Yeah, we're importing with dollars over here. This is an interesting one, actually, because there's nothing stopping us from utilizing the food that's delivered over here. So what we could do, and what we probably should do, is add the big old shopping center to the distribution network here, which means that we just need to import less stuff. We are importing electronics here as well, which is costing us a fair chunk of change. Let's also add the small shopping center, which is that one, and that one too, but that one needs a road connection. Okay. Ah, yes, of course. This is exactly why I like the option to delete old, terrible houses. Okay, I mean, it is coming up to the end of July here. It is coming up to the end of July. We are making an obscene amount of money. We're making an obscene amount of money. And honestly, if we can't make any more money from Western tourists, which kind of surprised about, to be honest, I suspect that the problem might be that all of the Soviet tourists are literally just walking in and, you know, claiming the first spots at the hotel. Whereas, oh my goodness, we built a second airport terminal? What the heck? That was built so quickly. Whereas the Western tourists they're just not getting a bed. They're just not getting a bed, and that's causing a problem. So I guess we'll try and create like a Western hub over here. A Western, or a hub for Western tourists. Once we get these hotels up and running, that hopefully will be the case, and it'll be slightly easier for us to make a few extra dollars. We are, of course, paying off this, you know, not insignificant loan. Also, the duration of this loan, I believe, was, you know, much shorter than the max loan time. So we've actually only taken out this loan for a year. However, we could extend that if we want to, and by extend I mean we could take out a brand new loan. This loan, in fact, both of these loans, I would not foresee any difficulty repaying, assuming that we're able to survive this winter, which is a large assumption to make, but it's one that I'm quite happy to make. Assuming that we're able to survive this winter, I don't really see anything slowing us down. I think from here on out, we should be golden. Will that be the case? I don't know. You're going to have to tune in next episode to find out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so much for watching this episode of Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. My name, of course, has been Open Potato. Thanks, as ever, to the fantastic Patreon supporters over at patreon.com/OpenPotato. Thanks to Banana Nana, C-Senpai, and Aurelio for being the 3 $25 plus tier patrons. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll see you next time. Bye.